Welcome to this edition of Labor Vision. I'm Bob Delaney, Executive Director of the Institute for Labor Studies and Research. Labor Vision, a production of the Institute, focuses on topics of importance to working Rhode Islanders. We hope you enjoy this edition.
Hello and welcome to Labor Vision, the at-home edition. I am your host, Autumn, and with me today are Lori and Jocelynn to talk about the United Way book drive with Books Are Wings. So hi, Jocelynn. Hi, Lori. How's everyone?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Good. Would you both mind just introducing yourselves and telling us a little bit about your organization and your role?
Sure.
Jocelynn,
I'm Lori DiMatteo.
perfect.
I'm volunteer coordinator at United Way of Rhode Island. And United Way's mission is to unite our community and resources to build racial equity and opportunities for all Rhode Islanders, because we believe that all Rhode Islanders deserve an equal chance to succeed. And for over 95 years, United Way has been focusing on key areas such as housing, economic stability, education for children and adults. And United Way also, you may find interesting, and maybe you already know this, Autumn, a 24/7 helpline. It's called 211. Anyone in the state can pick up their phone and dial 211, and they'll get United Way professionals who can refer them to community resources that could help them in a time of need. So my job typically, though, as a United Way volunteer coordinator, is to work with corporations that we partner with. They're looking to volunteer, get out in the community, and we look for projects. We partner with nonprofits to find them the perfect volunteer opportunity that meets their focus area and their interests. And we also work with the community. We partner with Books Are Wings to do this annual children's book drive because we have a common interest in childhood literacy and helping children fall in love with reading.
Great. And
Awesome.
Jocelynn?
Yeah, I'm Jocelynn White. I'm the executive director of Books Are Wings. We are a local nonprofit organization that is in Pawtucket, Rhode Island. And we are super excited to partner for the 9th year with United Way of Rhode Island and Women United on this children's book drive. Our mission is to put free books in the hands of children to support literacy development at home by building their own home libraries and providing choice. And so one of the great things about this partnership and hosting this drive is that we get so many different types of books, and we're allowing children to really find themselves as readers and figure out what excites them and what makes them energized. And then the second thing that's really great about this time of year for the book drive too is that it's right before summer. And so the books that we collect during this drive will be used directly for our summer program. So we'll do some end of year work in collaboration with our partnership schools, and we'll give out books at recess right before they leave for summer vacation. And then we'll spend the rest of the summer in parks and in summer camps, just providing continuous access and supporting children with their reading. So.
That's awesome. We know that anyone who's been a kid or been around teachers, summer reading is so important to keep up all of that learning that you do during the school year. So seems like really good timing. So you've done this for 9 years. I guess I want to ask, the first thing I want to ask is why, for you personally, is this book drive important? Jocelynn, you've been involved with United Way. You're not directly involved with books, so I was wondering what you thought.
Yeah, so from Books Are Wings perspective, from the Books Are Wings perspective, we always are working with United Way, and why it's so important, like I said, is it started off as a small book drive. 9 years ago, we thought, oh, we'll work with United Way of Rhode Island and Women United, and we'll collect a couple hundred books. I think we thought 1,000 books. And year one, it was 3,000 books. And then the next year it was 10,000 books. And things just kept exploding. And so year after year, we've far exceeded our expectations. And it gives us an opportunity to have upwards of 30,000, I think, Lori. Last year we collected close to 30,000 books.
Very close to 30,000.
It just really,
And that was
Yeah.
during COVID. So
Exactly.
how had things changed during COVID?
Well, I'll tell you, we are excited to be a little past that overly cautious time. Of course, there's still concerns, and we want everybody's safety at top of mind. However, we are going full-blown book drive everywhere. We have, a ton of drop-off sites. We're engaging community members, and we're going to celebrate at the end of it with our Day of Action, which is a huge volunteer opportunity on June 4th to sort and label all of these books that come in. And during COVID, I mean, Jocelynn can tell you what they did, but it was really amazing. They carefully packaged books and gave them to all the kids, in a drive-through type. And when we did our book collection with companies, it was the same kind of idea. They could drop off at different drop-off locations, and we encourage that. So things have changed. Things are open, and we're really happy to be able to offer this huge volunteer opportunity on June 4th for people to actually come to United Way in our parking lot. We rent a big tent. We have pizza for lunch. And, we just work to sort and label all the children's books. We categorize them by ages, and we label them for distribution. Maybe Jocelynn can talk about the distribution process, but they go to kiddos all over Rhode Island. And this is our 10th year, and we've collected over the 9 years 245,947 books. That's just children's books. And that doesn't include all the ones we weeded out that may have been, not children's books or damaged books.
Wow, that's awesome. So, Lori, you just gave me a great little transition there. I'll ask you, Jocelynn, about how the books are collected and distributed, like practically.
Yes, absolutely. So there's, like Lori said, there's lots of different opportunities, and I think she can talk a little bit more after this about how people can, host their own drive or be part of this. And then what happens is the books come to us, and we use Day of Action as a way to sort and organize them. So, from our youngest readers, from our babies to our toddlers, everything gets categorized by grade level or age and put into appropriate spaces. And then we go out and we partner with lots of locations. We spend a lot of time in the summer camp programs supporting, our local after school partnerships. And we spend a lot of time in the parks. So one of our pieces that we picked up during COVID was we would be at meal site locations. So in the summer months, when children and families, were going to get lunch in the parks, which is something that's offered in our state. We were there with books too. So they were able to access books like, once a week we would be at a different park location, and they would get books and they could get their meals for the day, and just sort of added that to part of the work. And so we are really excited to try to see how big we can make this year's book drive, because there's just a lot out there. And I think children and families themselves are ready to put the work in to reading and supporting each other to make it happen.
One-stop shopping.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
So for folks like me who want to get involved, I just want to get some basic information out there. So when exactly is the drive happening?
Absolutely. Well, it is underway. So we've officially kicked off April 1st, and we run through May 25th. And you can get involved by contacting United Way of Rhode Island, me, bookdrive@unitedwayri.org. But, if you forget our email address, just give United Way a call. They'll know which way to direct you. I can sign you up for the book drive, whether you are a company, someone who works in a workplace, you could run a drive at your workplace. If you're a student in middle school or high school, you may want to run a book drive at your school and with your friends and family. If you'd like to earn some community service hours for National Honor Society, for example, I can provide a community service letter. So again, just contact me at bookdrive@unitedwayri.org, and we'll get you set up. So that's how you'd get involved. And like Jocelynn said, we're looking for the types of books we're looking for are children's books, birth through middle school. And those are the books that we're looking for. So you can sign up with us and we'll give you all the information you need and the materials. We have posters in English and Spanish, and they're customizable posters. So if you're running a workplace drive or a school drive, you can write right on the poster the dates of your drive. You can customize your drive if you want to run a book drive for 1 week, 2 weeks, the month of May, whatever you want. It's up to you. You can customize it to your needs. We also have a document called FAQs with all the information, details on it that we're speaking to today. And also a how-to information sheet. So if this is your first time running a book drive at your workplace or in your school, we'll give you the step-by-steps, how to run a book drive and just some ideas and things to think about. But basically you're putting out a bin or a box decorated with the poster and notifying, people that it's going on, and they can drop the books in the bin. So it's real easy to run a book drive. And yeah, do you want me to go on?
Well, I mean, I just know that for the Rhode Island AFL-CIO, our e-board has offered our own challenge for our next meeting that everyone who comes to the meeting has to bring 1 or 2 books. And we're giving special points. I don't really know how the points are going to be awarded or calculated, but we're giving points for anyone who brings any labor related books, since that's our whole bend. But yeah, so there's I think there's fun ways for everyone to do it.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I would like to plug we do have an Amazon wish list as well. So if there are people who don't have children's books at home anymore, or just don't happen to have them and they're interested in getting some recommendations, our Amazon wish list is around. I know United Way has a list, the link as well, but on Books Are Wings site, we have that. And so, you could purchase the book at a local bookstore or purchase it right through that. It'll get delivered to Books Are Wings. And so if anyone chooses to do that, just make sure they put a little note in there so they can get credit for whatever points you're collecting. But there are definitely some different books that are out there in choices. So
absolutely. And I'll be leaving in the show notes links to everything. I'd also found a really great link of social justice books that I think would be cool for our readers. And I guess I'm the boring auntie where I always bring educational books to my nieces and little cousins, but that's how I like to do it, and everyone else can be fun.
Books are fun. Books are fun.
And you know what? Everyone's got a different favorite book. I'm wondering, I'm just thinking about favorite childhood books. Do either of you have a favorite one that comes to mind?
This is always a hard question for me because I have lots of favorite books, lots of favorite children's books, my own personal books. I actually didn't have it here. I was going to bring it and I didn't have it it's upstairs. But I wanted to say there's a book called Giraffes Can't Dance, and it just happened to blend a lot of my life together. I was a special education teacher prior to, working for Books Are Wings. And this book sort of comes together when, this giraffe has trouble dancing and, he needs a little bit of support. And so in the community, the little cricket helps him and the animals help support him. And the next thing you know, the giraffe is a really fun dancer. The illustrations are super whimsical and just really, really, really rich. And so it just kind of takes a little bit of parts of my life and pulls them all together in that story. So that's what I'm thinking for today.
How about you, Lori?
Mine, I'll just back up to my childhood. We didn't have books at home. We didn't have children's books. And, it wasn't that we couldn't afford them, I don't think. But I asked my mother one time when I was a super reader to my kids. I had 3 kids, reading. And then it dawned on me, I don't remember any of these books. So I asked my mom, I said, Mom, did you read to me as a kid? Because I certainly don't remember that. And she said, no, it wasn't encouraged back then. So, it's funny. So I grew up, not loving to read. And when we had to read in school, I thought of it as a chore. It wasn't until I was older that I really loved books. And then when I was reading all the children's books to my kids, I fell in love with them. So this one here, I was prepared and brought this. This was my youngest favorite book, The Little Red Hen. It's an oldie but a goodie. And it talks about that, the hen is planting the seed of wheat to grow and, make bread after. And she asked her friends, the duck and the goose to help out along the way, and they don't help. And at the end, when she bakes the bread and it comes out hot in the oven, she doesn't share it. So the point is, and she loved this, I think, one, because my husband makes homemade bread, but secondly, that everyone needs to participate. Everybody in the community needs to contribute to make Rhode Island a better place to live. So that's kind of where I, relate to this book, and it's an awesome book.
Great. Yeah. And well, my family, we're big readers, and my mom's an elementary school teacher, so we always had kids' books in the house. But I just remember Stregonona being one of my favorites.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah.
definitely.
And I always would want like all the pasta that she made. I still haven't, maybe that will be a new hobby I pick up. I learn how to make pasta.
There you go. That's it. And I think that's what this drive is all about. It's really just the community coming together to think about, what experiences did you have, and to just show and support families as well, to say, hey, maybe you can't, this isn't the top priority right now or whatever, but just the importance of reading and the importance of having that access to books at home. And so that's what makes this such a unique, opportunity for people.
And it's so important to start them early, because that's when they really develop the love. If they develop the love and the interest, they really are more inclined to succeed. Because in third grade, they're up to third grade, they're reading to learn, and then in fourth grade they make that switch to reading to reading to learn. So it's really important that they learn how to read and feel comfortable with it by the time they enter the classroom in fourth grade. So that's why it's so important. I do want to mention we have so many drop-off sites throughout the state this year. We have 61 locations. So if you're collecting books at your house, or you're just cleaning out your unused books, then you can drop off at a place near you. If you're a corporation, you can bring them to United Way by appointment. But we have 8 partner companies who are offering their drop-off locations, which gives us the 61. We have Centralville Bank, all their branches, Pawtucket Credit Union, all their branches. We have Shores Market. They have 8 sites in Rhode Island, 8 stores in Rhode Island, and Washington Trust starting May 1st, and United Way and Books Are Wings by appointment only, East Providence Library, and of course, Cardi's. They have been advertising for us all through this time, and I'm getting calls, and I just love it. Cardi's Furniture and Mattresses has their 3 locations, and they're offering drop-offs, and they deliver with their furniture trucks. It's fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just gonna ask you, when everything wraps up, when should people start delivering their books?
I would say, so we offer a book pickup day on May 25th to our corporate partners who are already connected to us. And for others, a drop off, they can drop off anytime on or before May 25th. Some of the sites, such as Cardi's and the branches of the banks and so forth, they're delivering to us on May 25th. So if they could donate, if they're going to donate to the public drop-off community sites, then if they could drop off, like say, maybe by May 20th or so, just to give them, they need like 3 days to wrap it up and get it all delivered to us by the 25th. So, but it's all in preparation for our day of action. So if you're planning on coming to that event, you can go on the United Way website, unitedwayri.org, and you can sign up for the day of action. That link will be live in about probably 2 weeks, or you can contact me either way. And then if you plan on coming, you can bring some books with you at that time too. That's totally fine.
Great. And so I see there's an FAQ that you'd sent me in advance, which I will put out on all of our social media platforms. And there's a couple of links here that I'll make sure are in the show notes so everyone can get to where they need to go. There is a list of those collection sites as well included, so you can look and see whichever is closest or easiest for you. I'm just looking through everything else that I might want to ask you. Is there anything that we haven't covered yet that you would like to talk about?
I just want to say, thank you. It's always great to meet new people and to really get out the word about the work that we do as an organization. And, if there's ever any other ideas and people say, hey, I know this great program that these children and families that could really benefit from books, let us know. Like, we are going to have an event in June where we'll be able to give out as many books as possible. And so I just wanted to put that out there for anyone if they say there's local communities or areas that they want to ensure children have access to books, that they please keep that in mind, and they're welcome to kind of reach out to us on our site.
That's terrific. And I'd like to thank you, Autumn, and we're so appreciative of the labor community and all the work that we do together. So thank you so much for all your support.
Well, I was happy to have both of you on. This was a great episode, really easy to want to get the word out about this. It's such a great program. So with that being said, you never have to miss an episode of Labor Vision. You can like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Labor Vision RI. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Labor Vision TV 1, and you can always find us at our website at laborvisionri.org. Thank you both so much for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Labor Vision. We appreciate your input and encourage your comments. Labor Vision can be seen on this channel 3 times each week: Tuesday at 7 p.m., Thursday at 8 p.m., and Saturday at 5 p.m.